science kids, my name is Grace and I will be leading you through today's experiment, where we will be creating geodesic domes like this small one here, or this much larger one here, out of rolls of paper. In this experiment, you have two different options. You can choose to make a smaller dome here, which requires less materials and is less time intensive. You can also choose to make this much larger dome here, which requires more materials and it takes a lot more time, but the final result is a lot more cool. You also have the option to make more than one of these small domes if you choose to make a smaller dome. If you are interested in making the larger 2-frequency dome, please check out the other dome construction video. Before we begin the experiment, we must first find out what is a geodesic dome. Google defines a geodesic dome as a hemispherical thin shell structure based on a geodesic polyhedron. Basically, this means that a geodesic dome is half of a sphere and it has a thin wall like the one you're going to construct. You also might notice that geodesic domes have many triangles in them. This is because triangles are very good at distributing the weight of the elements on it, and they are very strong structurally. This is why geodesic domes are great for many different uses. There are many examples of geodesic domes in everyday life. For example, there are many greenhouses around the world that are made in geodesic domes, and there are also a lot of common playground structures that are geodesic domes. There are many different sizes of geodesic domes as well. What determines the size of a geodesic dome is how many individual struts of a dome there are. Struts are the pieces that connect together to form the shape. Many different domes have multiple different sizes of these struts. This makes them more complicated as well as larger in size. A 1-frequency dome is a dome that only has one different type of strut length. A 2-frequency dome is a dome that has two different sizes of strut shapes. And the 2-frequency dome is the dome that we will be constructing in this video. Now that we've learned what exactly geodesic domes are, let's get into the experiment. For today's experiment on constructing geodesic domes, you're going to need about 70 pieces of paper, a PVC tube to roll the paper into tubes, some of these paper brads in order to put the pieces of paper together. You also need a ruler, some scissors, a roll of tape, and a writing utensil of your choice. Mine is a Sharpie marker. We're going to start this off by rolling all of our paper into tubes. You're going to need to make 25 total paper tubes for this dome. Now, we're going to start off by rolling our tubes. To do this, lay a piece of paper out in front of you. Grab your PVC pipe, roll it from the middle at a diagonal all the way to the corner. Grab the little flap, roll it over, and roll it. And then, at this little tail piece, you're going to grab a piece of tape and just stick it on there. And then, you can just slide the tube off. Now I'm going to fast forward the rest of this so that you don't have to watch me roll 25 rolls of paper. Now that you've rolled all 25 tubes, it's time to cut them so that we can put them together. For this dome, I'm going to be cutting each of my tubes into 12-inch long pieces. So you can take your tube, you can measure it with your ruler, and you can cut it to the right length. And do the same thing for the rest of the tubes. Now that all 25 tubes are cut to the same length, it's time to assemble. To assemble this dome, you're going to need 11 brads and your 25 tubes all cut to the same length. To start, lay 5 tubes out on the table, and you're going to connect each one of these tubes to itself. So you're going to start with 1. To attach the 2 tubes together, push the brad ends through the paper to create a hole, or you can also use a pair of scissors to do this as well. And as always, please use caution or parental guidance when using scissors. And you're going to connect it to another one. And you're going to do this all the way around until it's a pentagon shape. Now that you have your 5 things connected, you're going to take 2 of your struts and you're going to connect it to one of your corner pieces, so that there's 2 pieces coming off every corner. Remember, you can fold down your corner pieces so that the pieces will not come undone. Now we're going to take our pieces and we're going to connect the triangles that are next to each other with one of our struts. And we're going to go to this one. We're going to do this all the way around until all of our triangle pieces are connected. This is what your structure should look like at this point. Now we're going to take our remaining struts and connect them around the edges. So we're going to add 1 strut to each of these joints. And after we do that, we can fold the brad over so that the pieces won't fall off anymore. Now that we're at this point, your structure should look something like this. And we're going to make the final last connection that will finish the dome. So you're going to take all of these 5 pieces that are floating up on the top and connect them together with 1 brad. At this point, your one frequency dome is complete. I hope you guys learned something from this experiment about geodesic domes, and I hope you enjoyed making them at the same time. These are fun to play around with. You can put them on your head, you can make a fort out of them, whatever you want. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time! Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel free to check out the other video on how to make a 2-frequency geodesic dome as well. It's more of a challenge. Have a great day, you guys!